Can you learn to fight from YouTube? Like starting from scratch, no training at all, no coach. Can you learn martial arts or a combat sport or how to fight generally just from watching YouTube videos? It would behoove me to say yes, considering I do fighting and martial arts tutorials on YouTube, and I want you to watch them. But the answer is far more complicated than yes or no. I think that the majority of people, if they think about it for any amount of time, would say no, you can't learn martial arts, combat sports, or fighting from the internet, from videos alone, or from books alone. Like, you actually need coaching and instruction. But it's not that cut and dry. In this video, I'm going to explain to you definitively and completely exactly how much you can learn from YouTube videos or similar sources. And also, we're going to break down this fight from Streetbeefs, where a guy says, this is a guy about to go fight another guy for real, and he says that he learned all of it from watching YouTube. Now, this is a kickboxing match between a guy named Blackie Chan versus Derek. Derek, if you're gonna fight at Streetbeefs, you gotta have like some kind of crazy wackadoo ring name. It's tradition.
I'm Derek, I'm 6'4", 205. We got 2-0 in the yard, in front of me 3-0.
Blackie Chan, 5'6", 170, and I've been watching a bunch of stuff on YouTube. Figured I'd try it out in real life.
Been watching on YouTube, figured I'd try it out in real life. Now, if you played me this video 100 times with 100 different guys saying that, 99 of them I'd be like, that guy's finna get his ass kicked. But that's not what happens. Wait till you see. He actually managed to learn some things from YouTube. Now, that's not impossible. And to save you a lot of time, I'll just basically break it down like this. Your ability to learn from YouTube videos or just video tutorials in general, even if you're a member of like a subscription service, like something you pay for or a course you download, your ability to learn martial arts, combat sports, or fighting from video is directly proportional to your current level at it. Your level of mastery dictates how much you can glean from video content. I'll explain. I am a notoriously poor grappler. I have an understanding of the basics, and that's about it. If you showed me a grappling tutorial that was something very basic, I might be able to get some information out of it. But if you showed me like a more advanced technique or try this crazy inverted ninja loop choke, I would not be able to execute that in rolling. I have gotten help from videos before. There was a video on a north-south thing by Invisible Jiu-Jitsu once, and I saw that technique, and then I went into practice that night, and I hit it 3 times in rolling. But it was a very simple detail to something that I already kind of knew about. If it was something within grappling that I didn't understand already, I probably wouldn't be able to get much out of a video. Now, if I watch a striking tutorial, say a leg kick setup, like a way to load a guy's weight onto his leg or a way to get a guy to block high when he should block low to set up a kick, I could watch a video on that, or Cliff could show it to me one time, and I could walk into sparring and do it in every round to just about everybody. Because my skill level in striking is much higher than my skill level in grappling. If you were to take me to, say, stick fighting, I watch a stick fighting video and I have almost no knowledge of like stick fighting. I'm talking like Kali style stick fighting. Like, I know how to hit a dude in the head with a stick. That's not that complicated. But actually, like the blocking and flows and stuff from stick and knife fighting, I don't do any of that stuff. I would get nothing out of watching videos on it. I would go to my first Filipino martial arts class and be able to do none of what I saw in the video. I'd be able to go to a grappling class and be able to do some of what I saw in a video. I would be able to go to a striking class and do everything that I saw in a video. But this guy says he learned everything from YouTube videos. And he's about to like actually fight a dude. There's also a twist ending to this. Wait till you see what this guy says at the end of his fight if you haven't seen it already. And if you haven't seen it already, it's because you don't watch Streetbeefs, which is crazy, because if you really want to know about how regular people fight, this is the channel to watch. You'll learn more about self-defense watching Streetbeefs than you will watching the UFC. But let's see what this fight But let's see what this looks like. Obviously, we have a height disparity. A man after my own heart. He's a whole head shorter than Derek.
All right, back to your corner. You ready? You ready? Let's go, baby. Back now.
He's got a good stance. Oh, wings a leg kick. Wild punches. Wild punches. But look, he collects himself in a stance and then uses head movement and is chopping that leg. Now, I'm going to stop it here. Those leg kicks are not that great, and those punches are not that great. But he does one thing better than people with training do, and that's returning to his stance. He gets himself back in his stance and is deliberate and disciplined in his stance. The punches were wild, and the kicks were just okay. But here's the good news for him. Against someone that doesn't train at all or has trained very little, leg kicks don't have to be that great because they're not really addressing them, and getting kicked in the leg sucks. Just period. It just always sucks if your legs are not conditioned. Kick right behind the knee. Oh, Derek tried to check one. I see you, Derek. Derek with a kick of his own. And Blackie Chan with the sliding teep. Now that sliding teep and then the subsequent pullback, those were facets of Blackie Chan's athleticism. The sliding teep is not an intuitive movement for beginners to do correctly, and he just very lightly floated forward and stabbed with the foot a little bit. I actually think if he were in his first kickboxing class, it would be harder to teach him that than him already doing it, if that makes sense. If you've ever taught beginners, then you kind of understand what I'm talking about. Like just real athletic dudes, if you don't mess with them too much, they can already do things that if you try to teach it to someone who's like, okay, I want to do it the right way, they can already do it better. And then him pulling his head back just enough to avoid that punch, dude is clearly naturally talented. He kicked from a little far away. I think that hurt his foot. Feints, and then some wild punches, and then a knee from off balance. This all makes sense. But the fact that he's feinting and returning to stance indicates that his mind works like a fighter's. Good hard check. He just sat down and took it. Head movement, but not too wild with the head movement. That's what's crazy to me. Ooh, ooh. He just chopped that big tree down. Dang, Blackie Chan. And then pulled the kick. He was going to kick again, but he saw the man was going down. This is just a kickboxing match. And he kind of pulled up on it. The guy's body already moves like a fighter, and his mind is already thinking like a fighter. Like this guy is a fighter, just hasn't had the training. So what he is going to be able to glean from YouTube videos is greater than 99% of the population. The dude is special. He's a special guy. You are probably not. So your level that you're currently at dictates how much you're going to get out of YouTube videos. It would seem normally, typically, this guy would be at 0. So you multiply his 0 times whatever he's watching, and you're going to end up still with 0. But he's a special dude, this Blackie Chan. And you got to see the end of this fight because it's a special ending. Yeah, he's shaking his head. He don't want any more. That leg hurts. Big tree fall hard.
Yo, big shout out to Blackie Chan. He went ahead after he found out that his opponent was a lot heavier than 175 and 200, and he still took the fight, man. Congratulations, winner. Good work, brother.
Shout out my brother Kimbo, right there. Shout out Hard to Hurt. I learned all that shit from you, man.
Now, I don't know whether that's true or not. Maybe he's so special because he watches a special YouTube channel. I do want to give him huge props because he did one thing that if you ever want to do something like this, I ask you to do. And that's to wait till after you win to shout the channel out. We've seen guys on Streetbeefs holler out Shane Faison or holler out Coach Brian from Teach Me Grappling, and they always do it in their intro. Blackie Chan did the most baller move ever, which is to say he learned from YouTube, which that even gives him an out. Like if he doesn't do well, he's gonna be like, hey, I learned from YouTube. But then after he wins, he shouts out the channel. That's such a baller move. It was wins all the way around. Wins for you, wins for me. Blackie Chan, I appreciate you greatly. But But here's what I want to know. Should we get Blackie Chan to come out to the studio? Should we get him? Do you want to see him on the channel? Like, comment below what you would like to hear from him, questions you'd like me to ask him, because I want to bring him into the studio for some training. I want to meet him and thank him the only way I know how. But we'll film some videos as well. So comment down below what you'd like to see. If I can get Blackie Chan out to the studio, I'm gonna shoot some videos with him, ask him questions. Do you want to see sparring? Do you want to know what was going on in his mind? Comment down below what I should ask Blackie Chan. Congrats to him. He's had subsequent fights on Streetbeefs. I'll put a link to Streetbeefs down in the description below. Go check him out. Search Streetbeefs Blackie Chan. And if you want more fitness tips, self-defense techniques, gear reviews, as well as concepts and principles that make you hard to hurt, make sure you subscribe and turn on notifications.